How do you make an LED lighting panel that is much bigger than a strobe, yet super thin, and it has really even light across the front panel? You light it from the edge. That's what Savage Universal did with these awesome EdgeLit Pro LED lights. Stay tuned while I put them to the test in the studio and on location. Be right back. Hey gang, my name is Joe Edelman, and my mission is to help photographers like you to develop a solid understanding of the hows and whys behind great photography so that you can achieve your goals as a photographer. The folks at Savage decided to take a different approach to LED lighting, and instead of building a panel with a few hundred LED bulbs facing forward, which means that you have a few hundred LED point light sources facing forward, they created a panel with LED bulbs that shine inward from the outer edges of the light and are then redirected through a soft white panel. This gives you a very even, very soft light, essentially a small softbox. The EdgeLit Pro is 12 inches by 9 inches and it's super thin, just 1.5 inches without batteries and 2.5 inches with them. And yes, that means that it works on AC power, or you can power it with 2 Sony batteries, which are very common with video gear. It'll run for 75 minutes at full power with fully charged batteries. Now this is a bi-color light that is blendable from 3200K to 5500K, which makes it very easy to use these lights mixed in with other ambient light. They have a CRI of 95, which we learned in this video is really good, and they have an output of 1677 lumens at 3 feet. Which makes it more powerful and a little bigger than some of the units that are getting big buzz right now. In fact, independent lab tests measure the EdgeLit Pro at an even higher 1784 lumens when used at 5500K, which is daylight balance. The EdgeLit Pro emits almost no heat and is completely silent, which makes it great for video work. It has an all-metal design that weighs just 3.5 pounds. The big LCD readout display makes it easy to see your power levels, color temperatures, and channel information from a distance. Each EdgeLit Pro ships with a multi-channel remote that can control your lights individually or in groups, just like you do with a radio transmitter for your strobes. I really like these lights. As you've heard me say many times before, they're not going to be for everyone. There's no such thing as a light that is perfect for every situation. Why, you may ask? Because light is a photographer's best friend. Remember that the word photography was created from Greek roots, meaning to draw with light. So good photographers are always looking for unique and interesting ways to generate, manipulate, modify, and manage light. The folks at Savage Universal were kind enough to send me 4 of these units so that I could really put them to the test, and I decided it would be cool to take it a step further and use them both in the studio and on location. I started in the studio with a quick portrait session. In this first setup, I used all 4 panels. I mean, why not? It wouldn't be nice to let one of them get lonely in the case all by itself while the others are out having fun? Please, fellow Togs, show some compassion for your gear. You can see here I have the lovely Monet in front of a Savage Universal number 24 orange seamless paper backdrop. I have one EdgeLit Pro panel placed on camera left as my main light, and it is set at 80% power and 5500K color temperature. My fill light on camera right is set at 40% power, also at 5500K. Behind my subject is a panel on the floor aimed up at the backdrop. This one is set at 65% power and 4300K to throw a little warm light on that orange. And then on camera left, I have the last panel also set at 65% power and 4300K as a warm rim light. Please observe that my main light is set above my model's eyes and carefully aimed down towards her face. The fill light on camera right is lower, but still above her eyes. I want to have shadows naturally below the nose and jaw, never above. 5500K is considered daylight balanced by most equipment manufacturers. You will find temperatures from 5000 to 6500K referenced as daylight. Basically the way it works, the higher the number, the whiter the light. The lower end of the scale at 3200K is like a good old-fashioned incandescent light bulb. This feature is beneficial for adding warmth to things like you saw me do in the last headshot, or for being able to balance your lights to a room where the ambient light is generated by incandescent or halogen lamps. Here's a 3/4 length shot that I did with Monet and essentially the same lighting setup as the portrait. The noticeable difference is that you can see I've turned the panels sideways so that the light spread will cover more vertical height. My settings on the lights and camera were the same as they were for the portrait. Next up, I went with a number 20 black seamless from Savage and a 3-light setup. I have my key or main light in the same position on camera left. I've taken the panel on camera right and moved it behind my subject to serve as a rim light. I also removed the background light from behind her, and I'm still using the rim light on camera left. Just to break down this lighting concept for you, you can see that with my main light on camera left, I have a shadow on the camera right side of Lola's face. By adding that rim light on camera right, I'm able to add some depth to my lighting, which makes the shot more interesting. If I dial the color balance of the edge-lit panel down to 3300K, I get a much warmer rim light. If you're using strobes, you can do this with an orange or better yet, amber colored gel. Then if you have a third light, you can add a rim on the other side, which will help separate your subject from the background even more. One very important tip, always pay close attention to the brightness of your rim lights. This applies for both flash and LED lighting. Rim lights that are blown out and overexposed just look sloppy and distracting. This is a perfect scenario where having a handheld light meter can save you a lot of time and guesswork. Before we go outside, here's a quick series I shot with a young Instagram blogger that I've been doing some work with. I shot these on a Savage number 8 primary red seamless. I used 4 lights, 2 on each side of my subject, 1 above for a hair light, and a 4th one low and on the ground for a background light. This very simple balanced arrangement gives me a nice, clean commercial look. In this last one, I simply removed the panel on camera right and shot with a 3-panel setup for this version, which has more shadow and depth than the others. Remember, there's no right or wrong here, but understand that light placement and intensity doesn't just impact shadows and exposures. It helps to set the mood and the tone of your shot. For my location setup, I found a small piece of roadway that's not being used because it's under construction. And I took the Edge-Lit Pros and my model Monet out for a short 90-minute mosquito challenge session as the sun went down. Now, in case you haven't watched my smartphone series of videos, I use the app called Sun Surveyor to plan in advance and know exactly when and where the sun will set. I have a link to the blog article and the apps in the description below. I actually prefer shooting with natural light outdoors, but if you want to be one of the cool kids today, it seems that you need to gear up and get outside. So for my first shot, I am still about 30 minutes away from sunset. The sun is starting to fall below the trees and the sky is in that phase where it's very bright and almost white close to the horizon. Here is what I get with no additional lighting or reflectors. A very soft and natural look. Now if I go with the same 3-light setup that I used with the black background in the studio, main light on camera left, fill light on camera right, and rim light on camera right rear, this is the look that I get. You can see that I've placed my lights at about the same distance from Monet as I had them placed in the studio. A little tip, good light placement is no different outdoors than it is indoors. I see so many new and young photographers practice lighting in a studio and then go outdoors and forget everything they learned about light placement. Keep it simple, stupid. If you're learning how to light, take the lighting arrangements that you do inside, outside, and start there. That way you begin by learning how to balance the ambient light with your strobes or your LED lights instead of overwhelming yourself with too many variables. Just like in the studio, I have my lights placed high to mimic natural lighting, and I have my main or key light placed where my model is looking so that I'm not creating harsh shadows. As the sun continued to set, I moved to the middle of the road and went for something a bit more dramatic. So now I'm shooting full length with just 2 lights. My main light is on camera left and placed well above my model, and I have a second light panel as a rim light on camera right. I left the panels in the horizontal position so that I would get some light fall off towards the bottom of the frame. And you'll notice in each of these last shots, I have Monet's face turned towards my main light so that I don't have harsh shadows on her face. You can also see that as the sun is getting much lower, color is starting to return to the sky near the horizon. Just after the sun has fallen below the horizon is when the sky is going to really start to pick up the rich colors. And with my Edge-Lit Pro panels in exactly the same positions, I was able to create this shot and then this shot. If you are one of those zombie-tographers who follows the crowd, you might want to skip ahead to the next part of this video. For the rest of you, let me point out that there are lots of ways to have your subject brighter than the background that don't require extra expensive gear that has high-speed sync. I've just shown you one of them. In case you missed it, how did I do it? Planning and patience. Two things that don't cost anything. I just had to plan ahead for a time where the ambient outdoor light would be dimmer than the power of my Edge-Lit Pros. It really wasn't that hard. So indeed, if you are that photographer that is determined to find one light that is going to do everything you will ever need, LED lights are not going to overpower the sun at high noon. But like I said earlier, if I'm shooting outdoors, I'd rather shoot with natural light. Check out this video that I did a few years ago. It shows examples of how to find nice light without strobes or reflectors outdoors at midday. The Edge-Lit Pro LED light can be purchased as a single unit, and it comes with an AC power cord, 2 Sony batteries, and 2 chargers. Also included is the rotating light stand adapter, a multi-channel remote control, and a padded carry bag. Savage also sells the Edge-Lit Pros as a lighting kit that comes with 2 Edge-Lit Pros, 2 rotating light stand adapters, 2 power cords, 4 batteries, 4 chargers, 1 multi-channel remote control, 2 Savage 7-foot easy open drop stands, and a padded rolling case. I mentioned the 7-foot easy open drop stands. These stands are awesome. The auto extending and collapsing legs with air cushioning allow for quick and easy repositioning of your lighting without having to bend over and lock and unlock the legs. They also have a 1/4 3/8 reversible spigot stud that can be mounted vertically or horizontally, which makes the stand very versatile. So if you're looking for a great light that is long lasting, and I'm talking 20,000 hours of use with the installed bulbs, also eco-friendly and super easy to use, I would encourage you to check out these Edge-Lit Pros from Savage. I am definitely adding them to my lighting arsenal. Next up in the LED lighting series, I'm going to take a look at 4 different LED lights from Smith Victor. From their Cool LED series, I'll test out the 25 watt, 50 watt, and 100 watt models. The 100 watt? That's comparable to a 1000 watt incandescent light. And I'm also going to use the Smith Victor 19-inch bicolor LED ring light. And I'll show you that ring lights are not just for circle catch lights and making YouTube videos. Hey, until then, I hope you found this helpful. Please hit that thumbs up and subscribe so that you don't miss any videos. And until next time, go pick up that camera and shoot something, because your best shot hits your next shot. So please keep learning, keep thinking, and keep shooting. Adios.